All right, this question came from the Facebook group. Do I need to have a pipeline before I sign a client, or can I wait and just focus on reaching out to clients first? Also, what do I say if a client asks about prior experience placing? So the one thing I will say is when you're reaching out to prospective clients, it's really good to have their solution already ready to go by having their candidates in place and having matches for them to review. But having a niche in the first place actually shows your commitment to building a pipeline. And a lot of these employers will just assume you have the candidates ready to go when you have that niche. And I've worked with so many recruiters being on the employer side and having my split board. And the biggest thing that you're trying to avoid as a decision maker is wasting your time with recruiters that are going to miss the mark. And the biggest indicator of a potential time suck and a waste and onboarding this recruiter and them not hitting the mark is that they don't have a focus or they don't have a niche and they haven't committed to one specific space with their recruiting business or solopreneur recruiting business. And a lot of times you'll see these contracts get signed and they just float off into nowhere, or they submit candidates that are just missing the mark because they haven't committed to actually getting good at recruiting in that space or for those roles itself. So a random example here is if I have like a Ford F-150 and I have issues with an engine and I'm going to outsource it to specific solo business or solo mechanic, one guy who's working on all different types of trucks and cars and is just getting started in the business doesn't have a high of a likelihood of solving the problem as a guy who only is going to be focusing on Ford F-150s and the specific specs. And what happens when that guy makes that choice into a niche, into working on one truck, is he's going to be talking deeper about that specific truck. He's going to be talking about YouTube videos he watched, where he wants to grow, where he wants to take his business, how he's learned and taken free courses on Ford F-150s. And he's going to be just have deeper vernacular about that one truck. And that's what you're trying to do as a recruiter and starting your business, is send that signal that you have made a choice, that you are going to grow in that direction. And when you go out and even try to find the candidates first, and a lot of recruiters do this, a lot of recruiters will just be building a bunch of pipelines and they'll never commit to one thing. And I've done this before too. Your brain's just like a puppy. You want to work on this role, and then you realize this other niche has engineers that get paid X amount, so your check's going to be bigger. You'll just be all over the place. So if you are going to build the candidate pipeline first, I would suggest having some kind of incentive. So work with a recruiter that has the role open already and work on a split to make sure it's a number that you're excited about, or go out and find your own clients and undercut the market and just be like, hey, just give me a testimonial if I fill your pipeline up with 10 interviews. That way, at least you're building a business. You're getting testimonials on your site. It's going to make closing deals a lot easier in the future, and especially in this market, which is going to get more difficult. So go check out the site. I show you exactly how I got a client in less than 30 days. At solorecruiter.io, formerly Recruiter Rocket. I made the change. Everything's Solopreneur Recruiter. So solorecruiter.io. Go check it out for more free stuff.